Hello, Lions. It's Miss Lamer, and this is your PALS Leadership Research Project video helper. So y'all are going to access this by going through Canvas, but I also wanted to show you that you can go to readylibrary.com, and for the Mac and VIA group, this video will be linked here and embedded down here, but I'm also going to show you over here in Canvas. This is what it's going to look like. So it tells you Leadership Project Research Notes. So to do your research, I believe Miss Miller is probably going to take this for a minor grade. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on this right here, and it is going to create a copy of it for you. And you can always go back into Canvas and click on that link right there to go to your personal copy of this. Okay. I am going to though, because if I edit this one because it's mine, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a copy of it so I can do some stuff to show you. But you're gonna click on that blue link, and this this notes page has 3 parts to it. So this first part 1, part 2, and then part 3, and then down here is the rubric. So I just wanted to point out to you, so as I go through this, I'm going to come down here to the rubric and show you, what we're doing. So on the rubric. Okay, so this first part, what you're going to do is you're going to decide who your person is, okay? And so perhaps my person is going to be Harvey Milk. Okay, so that's my person who I want to research. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, and then I'm just going to type in here, I know that he was a leader of LGBTQ people in San Francisco and was an elected official. I also know he was assassinated. I don't know how to spell that word. Nope, I didn't spell it right. I didn't think I did. Okay, so you can put more here. I'm just filling this in to kind of show you. So like obviously your person's name is going to be a search term, right? So you're going to put that in here. But what I want you to understand is that no matter who you pick, they're probably likely part of a historical moment, or they're from another country, or they're from this country. They're part of a social or political movement. They're an activist. There are lots of things that people can be. So obviously, he was very involved in the LGBTQ community, in LGBTQ rights. I know that he and so then as I go through and I'm searching up my person, and I'm finding additional search terms that relate to him. So I also know like San Francisco, because I know that he was from San Francisco, or he was elected in San Francisco. And then so you're going to fill this in. So let me just show you for part 1. You're going to come down here and see I included the name of my leader, wrote about what I already knew about them, and identified 8 or more keywords or phrases for my leader. So to get the maximum points on this, that's what you're going to have to do for part 1. Okay. All right. So then part 2. So now I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to start researching. So I'm going to come back over here to Canvas, and there's this Mac and VIA group right here. So I'm going to click on this, and it's going to open up my Mac and VIA group. And up here is the instructions and things that you're supposed to make sure that you have, etc. And so you're going to want to make sure that you have these things. So actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these things in. I'm going to put these things in your document. They're not in there right now, but they will be before too long. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to put those things up here, right here in between these, so you can kind of answer those questions. But what you're going to do with this information down here, what this is designed to do. So in Mac and VIA, what you need to do is I would probably start with Britannica School to search up your person. And so I'm going to go search and search. and I'm going to go Harvey Milk, American politician and activist. That might be another term that I want to use. Activist, politician. Okay. So here's my information about Harvey Milk. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to, let's say I want this right here. So this is what I'm going to do in my notes. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put this here. So this is my quote that I pulled directly from here. Now I'm going to take it and I'm going to make sure that I cite it because I definitely know I'm going to use this information. Make sure it's MLA. Copy this. And I'm going to paste that right here. I'm also going to come over here and I'm going to paste that information here. And then I'm going to take this out because this is kind of my running works cited where I'm keeping all my citations for this project so that as I continue going, I make sure that I have all my citations together down here for my works cited. So he was a city supervisor in 1977 and the first openly gay elected official. So that's what's important about the quote, right? And so over here now I'm going to put it in my own words. So I'm going to say Harvey Milk ran for public office in San Francisco several times and was finally elected as a city board of as a city I'm gonna say a city supervisor and was the first openly gay elected official. Okay. Oops, except for I spelled something wrong. So what I did here was instead of just copying and pasting this information directly from that source and then putting it in my project, I'm writing down what was important here and then I'm putting it in my own words so that when I put this in my presentation, I'm going to use this information right here because I've taken the information from my source and I've put it in my own words. This prevents me from plagiarizing, but it also gives me, like, if I'm doing a slides presentation or something, I might want to actually put these words on the slide, but I might say these things, right? So whenever you're doing a presentation, you don't want every single word that you find out about this in your presentation, but it might be something that when you give your presentation or record your presentation, whatever you're doing, that you say. So this helps us avoid plagiarism and it helps teach us to paraphrase, etc. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to scroll back down here to the rubric and I'm going to show you. I chose at least 5 quotes from at least 3 sources and stated why the information was important and put the quotes into my own words with effective paraphrasing. So you will notice that there are 3 of these here. So you can, if you have more than 3 sources, you can absolutely add another source here. But in order to get the max number of points on the rubric, you have to have 5 quotes and then fill this all the way across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have to have 5 of those and fill it all the way across to get the maximum points. Okay. This way too, you're showing Miss Miller that you are gathering the information for this project and putting it all together and you're citing it correctly, etc. Okay. All right, so now let's pretend I've done all these things and now I'm coming down here. So, oh yeah, let me show you first though. So let's say you want to go to this database. So I would suggest starting with Britannica School and getting information from that. I will show you too that there are also images and videos in here that you can get from Britannica School if you want. So there's just the one picture, but if I wanted this picture, I could click on it and then I would click on the sharing options here. And then I can come up here and grab the citation for my notes. I would copy this and put that into my notes. And then I can also, download that image or whatever. So over here, I'm going to put in Harvey Milk. That's my person. I'm going to search him up. So it looks like there are some reference articles here. There's a Harvey Milk biography, so I probably want to look at some of these Harvey Milk biographies. And so I'm just going to click on this one. So you can kind of go through and see biographies are probably going to be your best bet initially to get information about your person. So like here is a really nice timeline of his. Let's see. Yeah, so this is the same person. I want to make sure it's the right person. And so you'll notice there's a lot of information in here as well. So let's say I ended up using this. I would click here to get my citation, make sure and put that into my notes and everything. I'm going to go ahead and close these. So another thing you may want to do is these American history, American government. If your person is from America, if they're from another country, obviously these won't be very helpful to you maybe. But I'm going to go ahead and put in my person here as well. And I'm going to click search. Let's see. And so here he is in biography. Here's a photo of him. Here's a speech that he gave. You've got to have hope. So I'm going to click on this speech because I'm like, oh, this looks fun. I might want to know. So this is a transcript of a speech that he gave. And so I might want to do a quote from this speech in my presentation. But whatever I do with this, I'm going to come up here to Cite. And I'm going to come down here to MLA, and I'm going to copy and paste this into my notes. And then you can use anything from these databases as well. So American history, American government right there. Depending on how famous your person is, obviously there's probably going to be a lot of news articles about them. So we're waiting. So I'm going to type my person in here as well. And so you'll notice here there's over 5,500 news articles. There's 442 magazines. There's some academic journals. There's images and videos. So I'm just going to click on this video to see Harvey Milk Boulevard, signposted, dedication of that. I'm going to click on magazines because I want to see what's here. And so I can click on some of these and see. So I'm going to click on this right here. So this looks like it's going to have some really great information about Harvey Milk. So let's say I wanted to use this. Again, I go up here to Cite and I grab that MLA citation. Okay. All right. So this one right here, this eBooks, this is a database that has a lot of like nonfiction books in it that are digital books. So I am going to search my person again, Harvey Milk. And you'll notice that here it's in this popular culture, encyclopedia of popular culture. It's in world biography. So there's a lot of the Castro. That might be something else I want to add over here to my thing for a search term, because I know that was a big thing, a big deal with him. And so you'll notice that you can kind of go through and find additional information about your person. So I'm just going to click on one of these. I'm going to click on this one right here. And when I go in here, you'll notice I can get more information. So again, I just go up here to Cite, and I'm going to cite this using that right there. All right, so that shows you how to use all those. And now I'm going to show you how to use ImageQuest. So ImageQuest is a Britannica product. And if you just go to the internet and start getting photos, some of those photos can be copyrighted, and you don't have the express permission of the person who owns that photo or created that photo to use it. So you want to make sure that you're using photos that you have the express permission of the copyright holder to use. because when we use photos that we are allowed to use, we and I can use the photos from any of these databases that I've shown you as long as I provide the citation, which over here on your notes, you'll notice there is a spot here where you can put those image citations. So I'm just going to say I want to use this photo. So I'm going to go click on the Cite button, and I'm going to copy and paste this over here into my image citation. And so now I have that image citation, and I can save that photo and use it in my project. Okay. All right, so that is how you use all the resources. That's how you get your citations. Oh, wait, let me show you Sears Discover. I forgot about this one. So we are going to wait for it to load. We're loading, we're loading, we're still loading. Good gravy. Whew, that took long enough. All right, so now I'm going to put Harvey Milk in here, and I'm going to see what comes up. So looks like there's 3 newspaper articles, 6 magazines, and 13 books about him. So it looks like there is an entire book. Or no, sorry, this is Compton's by Britannica. So it looks like there's a lot of great information here. So if I decided I wanted to use this, what I would do is I would come up here to Cite, click Cite, and then I would make sure it's MLA 8, and I would copy this information, and then I can start using the information from here. All right, so now I've shown you all of the resources in here, how to search, how to find your person, how to get information, and then how to get the citation. I've also shown you how to use your notes page here. And then I just want to point out that down here on your rubric, citing sources, I included 3 or more appropriate sources from Mac and VIA, and I provided correctly formatted MLA citations for each. So that is 20 points. And then I included at least 4 images for my project, and I cited them using an MLA citation and provided a link. And then there's some grammar things on here so that you're making sure you're using complete sentences and punctuation and capital letters when you're putting all this in here, because these may be things that you end up using for your project. All right. I hope that this project goes well for you. And if you all have any questions along the way, feel free to email me, lambertin@friscoisd.org, or you can see me in the library and I can help with that as well. All right, good luck on your project, Lions.